What's up YouTube? I'm here to do my prediction video for UFC Fight Night Barnett versus Nelson. Let's start at the bottom. First we got Shisho Anza versus Roger Zapata. Um, I feel like Zapata's a really good striker, but he really doesn't have much grappling. I remember him from that crappy season, The Ultimate Fighter. Not much to say about him. He's good. He throws a high volume of strikes, but not much else to say. I know Anza. I saw him in that UFC debut. I remember it was super back and forth, where both guys were just dropping each other back and forth, and he just got dropped last, and he lost that fight by TKO. But I still think he's pretty good. I think Anza's got the wrestling and the power that Zapata doesn't have, so I think Anza's probably gonna win by TKO. Probably late in the first. This could be fight of the night. It depends on how much better Zapata's wrestling's gotten. But like I said, I'm still gonna pick Anza by TKO. Next is Noya Katani versus Cajun Johnson, and I'm gonna pick Johnson. I just feel like these guys are both kind of jiu-jitsu guys, but striking wise is a huge advantage for Cajun. I feel like he also has really good ground and pound when he's on top, so I feel like that's probably what's gonna happen. I think Katani's gonna fall into the same pattern he always does, where he's going to try to pull guard, not be able to do much. Johnson will just be able to land strikes from the top and probably win by TKO late in the second. Next is Nick Hine versus Isaki Kasuya, and I'm going to pick Hine. I feel like Hine will just be able to use his judo in reverse, stuff takedowns, and use his good striking to just get points. He might get a late finish in the third, but I think overall he'll probably just control the fight throughout the whole thing. Next is Kaita Nakamura versus Li Jingliang. And like I said, I still think Li is the best prospect out of China right now, but I don't. It's hard for me to pick against Nakamura right now, just because I feel like he's got the experience. And I mean, this is the toughest fight in the whole card, in my opinion. This one to pick right here, because I think Li could honestly win by KO probably in the first round, but I feel like Nakamura is gonna be able to get this to the ground and probably win by submission. I think it's an upset, but not a huge upset, so I'm going to pick Nakamura by submission. Next is Katsunori Kakuno versus Diego Brandao. And Diego Brandau's looked like shit in his last couple of fights. I mean, I feel like his fight against Jimmy Hedis, I thought he lost that first round, and Jimmy Hedis was controlling the whole thing. It's just Jimmy Hedis got hit with that one punch that cut his ear open a little bit, and they stopped it. And I thought he was winning that whole first round, and they stopped the fight that he was winning. And before that, Diego's last two fights he lost by knockout. And Katsunori Kakuno, he's been kind of up and down, but I feel like he's just been fighting better people. So I think Kakuno's just going to be able to use his karate to pick points, and probably late in the second probably win by knockout, just because Diego Brandao's conditioning is shit. Next is Mizuto Hirota versus Teruto, and I'm not even going to try to say his last name. I know Teruto is like a decent striker, but he doesn't have a lot of experience fighting high-level guys, as where Mizuto's fought pretty much high-level guys his entire career, and I feel like that's the difference. I feel like Mizuto's just fought better people his whole career, and his experience is going to be the big difference in this fight. I say he wins by either decision or TKO. Next is Kid Yamamoto versus Matt Hobart. I feel like Yamamoto will do exactly what he did his last fight. He'll just use his superior speed, striking technique, and wrestling to, he didn't win against Roman Salazar, but he was winning that whole fight before Roman Salazar accidentally got poked and quit because he knew he was losing. I think the same thing's going to happen, minus the accidental eye poke, and Kid Yamamoto will win a decision. Next is Takeya Mizugaki versus George Roop. And I think this will be like George Roop's last fight. I think it'll look pretty back and forth until Mizugaki catches him and knocks him out in the first round. George Roop's chin is, his last 4 losses have all been knockout losses. Mizugaki, even though he lost his last 2 fights, that was to Dominic Cruz and Aljamain Sterling, and I thought he was winning the Aljamain Sterling fight. I think he just got caught. I had it 1-1, but it looked like he was the better. It looked like he had more cardio going into that third. I think he just got caught in the arm triangle. So I think Mizugaki's going to win by knockout in the first round. I think it'll look like a back-and-forth striking match until Mizugaki catches him. Next is Kyoji Horiguchi versus Chico Camus, and I think these guys have the exact same style. I just think Horiguchi's a little bit better at everything, and I think he'll probably win a decision. I think he'll just edge every single round. I think his conditioning's better. I think his striking's a little bit better, and I think his overall wrestling game's a little bit better. So, 30-27 decision for Kyoji Horiguchi. Next is Gegard Mousasi versus Uriah Hall, and props for Uriah Hall for taking this fight on short notice, but he's gonna get laid out. Mousasi's gonna take him down and win by rear naked choke. His grappling is nowhere near the level Mousasi's is. Striking wise, it might be close, but this isn't gonna be a striking fight. It's gonna be like the Costa Philippou fight. Mousasi's not an idiot. He knows where, the striking might be even, but his advantage on the ground is like an ocean. So Mousasi's going to get a takedown early in the first and probably win by rear naked choke at the very end of the first round. And the last fight is Josh Barnett versus Roy Nelson. I just feel like Josh Barnett has a huge advantage in the wrestling area and conditioning. I feel like he'll be able to keep this fight on the ground or against the fence until Roy Nelson gets tired. And once Roy starts to get tired, that's when Josh will finish him, probably in the third or fourth round by either submission or TKO. I just feel like his wrestling and his overall better game is going to be the thing that beats Roy. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe.